This past summer, Imamen Saleh Abouelenen in Kristianstad gave a sermon in which he stated that men have the right to beat their wives. The statement sparked strong reactions from both politicians and civil society. He later defended himself by claiming his words were taken out of context. Tomas Samuel, welcome back to Riks. You're a former imam, so it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on this. Is there any legitimate interpretation within Islam that can justify violence against women?
First of all, thank you for having me back. And it's very important to clarify that some people, I worked in Dawah for a long time. I worked as a prayer leader for a long time. I gave lessons for a long time. And this was one of the hot topics. For sure, even when I was studying law, specifically because I graduated from the Faculty of Sharia Law, so or law, and we studied Sharia law for 4 years. So we study this topic all the time because people could do problems to each other. You know, husband and wife can beat each other, and then accordingly, we have a big problem in the police station. So we studied this topic so many times, and I cannot deny ever that we cannot by any means justify that anyone beat anyone in Sweden, okay? But the problem that in Sharia law, they put some regulations, and there are a bit of different opinions on how to interpret these verses exactly. And the verse that we speak about here is Surah number 4, verse 34, mainly, which says that الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض. So men are the protectors and maintainers of women, meaning the man is responsible for the woman and he is her maintainer, caretaker, and leader who discipline her if she deviates in a way or another. Or this is the understanding of the surah, so, or that part, which means that the Islam gave the right to the man to discipline his wife. And here comes the different understanding of what do you mean exactly by discipline his wife. And in Islam, they put some conditions. I don't deny them. For example, you should not beat the face. You should not make a wound, like you beat her till she has a wound or a bruise and these stuff. You should not break a bone. And you should not beat her with the target of hurting her, but for the aim of getting her back to track and discipline her. Okay, so I don't deny these conditions, but my problem is another thing. My problem is, the first thing is the idea that man is not equal to woman is a problem in general. I mean, you understand me? You consider the man has the right to discipline his wife. Does the wife have the right to discipline her? Not? No. In that way, no. The verse is for the men to discipline their women. And here comes my first problem. Why? I mean, maybe his wife is more wise than him. The second problem, I have a big problem that you give some regulations to an angry man and you expect him to follow it. This is very naive. In my opinion, that's very naive. I mean, imagine you are angry, Milena, and I came to you and I come to you and I say, Milena, you have to never beat me in the face when you are angry right now, and never break a bone, and so you beat me just for the sake of disciplining, for just discipling me and putting me on track. I mean, how do you guarantee that? How do you guarantee an angry man to do that? You understand this? Well, this is really strange regulation, and the problem that it has been said here in Sweden. And this is what I said before when I talked about when I talked about the prayer call. I said, can the woman do the prayer call in Islam? This was one of my questions, and everyone avoided. Nobody talked about it. But you know why they avoided it? Because simply they think that the voice of the woman is a temptation. So she cannot sing the prayer call in the mosque. So again and again, Islam is proving that men and women are not equal. Simply are not equal. So the man has the right in Islam to disciple his woman according to this condition. Yes. But what if he broke this condition? For example, there is Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir is one of the very important commentators. And he said something very important to be mentioned. He said in his commentary, I'm talking about commentary of Ibn Kathir on Surah number 4, verse 34. He said that Ahmad ibn Ali al-Nasa'i talked to Muhammad ibn Abdullah al-Hashimi, talked to Muhammad ibn Muhammad al-Ash'ath, talked to or narrated to Musa ibn Ismail ibn Musa ibn Ja'far ibn Muhammad. They said that to Ja'far ibn Muhammad, to his father, that a woman, here comes the context, a woman came who was married to one of the Ansar, and a group of people at that time. And he came with his wife. A man from the Ansar, this group, came with his wife, and he said, Ya Rasulullah, O Prophet of Allah, her husband, this woman, her husband has beaten him. Okay? And he made a problem on her face. I mean, he made a wound. So, Muhammad said, the Prophet of Islam said, he cannot do. Then, according to Ibn Kathir, God revealed the verse that men are the excel over women. So he said, accordingly, that men excel on women in discipline, and accordingly, I wanted something, but God wanted something else. And she went without taking her right back. This is what the commentary is saying. I know that an imam can come up and say, oh, this is hadith, this is riwayah, this is a narration that maybe we don't need to take with it. Yeah, you will not take with it, others will. You will not take with it, others will. So, I know the conditions, but again, can we give an angry man conditions to follow while he is in a fight with his wife? That's a big question mark for me.
And what do you think should be the solution?
First of all, again and again, and I always say with you, we are in Sweden, hello. We are in Sweden, and accordingly, in Sweden, we follow the Swedish law. I don't follow Sharia law. No one should be following any law but Swedish law. And I'm thankful for the Bible that says that we should obey the law of the country as far as possible, as much as we can. We follow the law of the country where we are. You submit to the leaders and the authorities that you have. This is what the Bible says. And accordingly, we submit to the Swedish law. So accordingly, nobody has the right to beat anybody. I mean, we should respect that. And I was surprised. The most surprise I have is that this is preached out in a mosque. And then they ask us why we ask for the mosques to be mentored in their preaching. I am with the freedom of speech, but I'm also with debating this freedom of speech. And the Imam can say, here, let me assume that the Imam will come out after this talk and he will say, this guy doesn't understand anything. It's okay. Islam doesn't order any of this. This was misquoted. And it's out of context. And Islam doesn't ask the man to beat his wife. Yeah, but the verse is saying so. The verse is saying so. So the verse is saying literally that the woman that you are afraid, and those women on whose part you see ill conduct, meaning the woman from whom you see ill conduct with her husband, such as when she acts as if she is above her husband, disobeys him, ignores him, dislikes him, and so forth. When these signs appear in a woman, her husband should advise her and remind her of Allah. If she disobeys him, indeed, Allah ordered the wife to obey her husband and prohibit her disobedience. So the second thing is that he avoid her in bed. And the third thing is to beat her. You know? And they try to make it look different or say another thing. Okay, I want this person to come out and say, Islam is not Allah, literally. Islam is not allowing the man to disciple his woman. If he say that, then he is against what is written in the book, so it's okay. Then it's his opinion, and then we are cool. We are fine with that. Still, we are against what is written in the book, but we are fine with the man who said that. But can he say that? There is a hadith in Islam, one more thing. There is a hadith in Islam saying that I was about to ask the woman to bow down for her husband. Can you imagine that? This is how, if in the hadith say exactly, if I were to command anyone to prostrate before anyone, I would have commanded the wife to prostrate before her husband because of the enormity of his right upon her. This is in Bukhari, the most right book after Quran in Sunni book.
Statements like this from imams are unfortunately nothing new in Sweden. We've seen several examples over the years. Do you think change is possible in Sweden?
Change is a must, not possible. Change is a must, but this change needs to be stark. It needs to be strong and need to be clear and need to be prohibited, because if there is freedom of speech, but there is also a problem with hate speech. I mean, I cannot go in the mic and say, beat everyone who does this and this to you. Is that allowed? No, right? I should not do that. Accordingly, you should not say, oh, you have the right to beat your kids, or you have the right to beat your child, your wife. Okay? And then in the context, the problem is always the commentary. The commentary says that this is a right for the man. This is the problem that we have. Okay? If the commentary says something else, if the commentary, for example, say that this is in another culture, it's not here. Okay? But it doesn't say that. It says, do that. And my question is, if it's not here, because he may say that, he may say, oh, this is not in Sweden. Okay. Why you preach it in Sweden? Right? Why? I mean, I don't see any purpose out of that except spreading hatred or anger or men to have feeling that they have this upper hand over women, which is not in Sweden, should not be in Sweden. We are equal in everything. We have equal rights. We have equal responsibilities. We are, I mean, this is Sweden, supposedly, or this is what they told us.
It was recently revealed that he has stepped down from his position as imam. Is that enough? Do you think it's enough? Because this is hardly an isolated incident.
I heard, I don't know, I read this in one of the news, that the other imam went in conflict with him and he said, no, I don't believe in that, and it has another interpretation. But the problem with me that you cannot make people agree on one interpretation. So one interpretation is saying so, but another interpretation is saying so. So my problem is, what is the very obvious backup from the books? What the Quran is saying, right? So yeah, I know that the Islam said that it should not be hurtful beating. But then this is, in my opinion, immeasurable. I mean, how you measure that? As long as there is no wound, as long as you didn't break my bone, this means that you are good with that. You're okay. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's immeasurable how you measure that. It could be very hurting psychologically. I will not say any physical thing. Psychologically, why you have the right to do that to me? You understand? Why I should have the right of of a man to beat his wife? Under what name? Marriage is a company. They agree on love, sharefold everything. They share everything together. They have this relationship together, and both have responsibilities and duties to do towards each other and towards the society. It has nothing to do with that they have upper hand over each other and they can beat each other. And this is unacceptable from any person, not only from Islam. But if you will permit that from Islamic perspective, then you need to find someone else, somewhere else. I mean, this is the solution. He stepped down, sorry to answer your question, he stepped down from that, but the thoughts has no position. This thought has been fed to everyone. So I hope that next Imam will come out in the next preaching. Friday is not far. And he will say, this other Imam is wrong. Can he do that? Not that he is misunderstood or there is a misunderstanding or misinterpretation. No. He is wrong. And Islam doesn't say to the man to disciple his woman. And
do you think he will do that?
No.
No.
I would be surprised, let me say. I don't know the man, but I would be surprised if he did it. And he need also to support his opinion with the references, right? So I know that they have in Islam a lot of references that says that you should not hurt your woman and you should be tender with her. I understand. But for me, it's just a conflict, a conflict in scripture. You cannot say, oh, but this means that you have to hit her tenderly. In a fight? I mean, this doesn't work together. I mean, you can try to make it work, but it will not. I mean, you need someone who is very strange to accept that. For me, at least, I don't accept it. I want to understand, is it right or wrong? The Quran said so. No, it doesn't mean so. So what do you mean about the commentaries? The commentaries said this and this and this and this. How we can deal with that? Because I should believe Ibn Kathir or believe this other Imam, who I don't know. Ibn Kathir should be believed more, I think, at least.
And finally, do you have something more to say about this that we haven't mentioned?
I would like to translate the last part of the verse. So the verse is saying, beat them, and I know that there is a hadith that many people will come out with. And the idea is beat them means if advice and ignoring her in the bed, this is still the commentary say, to do not produce the desired results, you are allowed to discipline the wife without severe beating. This is the commentary. Muslim recorded that Jabir said that during the farewell Hajj, the Prophet said that you have to be tender with women. And then the very important part, and he said that, and if they fear Allah regarding women, for they are your assistants, you have the right on them that they do not allow any person whom you dislike to step on your mat. However, if they do that, you are allowed to discipline them lightly I don't understand the word lightly, Islam. They have a right on you that you provide them with their provision and clothes in a reasonable manner. So Ibn Abbas and several others said that the ayah refers to a beating that is not violent, which is, for me, not understandable. And Hassan al-Basri said that it means a beating that is not severe. Again, what is severe? And what is severe in Sweden? Maybe not severe in Egypt. You understand? I mean, what is severe? So please, what I want to add at the end and close there, stop it. Stop this misunderstanding of people, leading people to violence. I cannot give you a match of a lighting match and give you benzene or gas and tell you, please don't make a fire. Okay? Put them inside together, but don't make any fire. Don't make a bomb. This is, for me, strange. So, as someone who studied Islam and specialized in Islamic studies, I would say that Islam allowed men to disciple women because they believe that man has authority over women and man is above women. And accordingly, this is the problem. The problem is not beating or not beating. This is the result of the problem. The problem that they think that they are not equal. And that's the main problem, an issue that we need to deal with.
Thank you so much, Tomas Samuel, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.